Well, it was in '68. I was probably 13. My grandpa had never had a new vehicle in his life. He said, "Come with me, Teddy." He called me Teddy. We're gonna go and look at a new pickup, a brand new red pickup. And we went around the corner to the Ford dealership, and he pulled out his billfold and says, "I'll take it." We got in that pickup and just drove it around for hours, just having a ball, just he and me. It was something special to him. When my grandpa passed away, my mother took the truck. She and my father used it around their place for a while. And then when they didn't want it anymore, they gave it to my brother. And I said to my brother, "Would you be willing to trade?" And he says, "Well, gosh, yes." So that's how I got it. When I didn't really need it anymore, I took it out to the farm and stored it. And then when they were getting ready to raise the buildings at the farm, I brought it to the building you see behind me and stored it for several years there, just trying to decide what to do with it. And I just didn't know. I just didn't feel like I wanted to get rid of it. I knew that there was a purpose for it somewhere, and I didn't know what it was.
Well, our memory care unit came about because it's something that we've needed for many, many years. That's what we've been lacking in services here.
Well, when we met with the landscape architects, they were talking to us about what we could do in our courtyard. And one of the architects had this great idea to put in a truck.
Immediately, once they suggested it, everybody started thinking about how cool, how neat of an idea.
The pickup truck will give them a chance to sit in the pickup truck, tinker with the truck, maybe just sit and reminisce about old trucks or cars that they might have had in the past.
Everybody has a story of, you know, maybe the first time they drove a car, their pickup, or went for a drive out in the country.
I had contacted the local high school through a contact of mine and got together with one of the gals from the high school, Kathy.
I had been invited to an event and I met Tracy.
The automotive class agreed to take care or redo a truck for us if we could get a hold of one.
I've been working with the campaign to raise the money for the memory care unit and the spiritual life center at Olathe.
So I did mention it in one of our meetings with Ted.
Tracy and I were talking about that and saying, you know, there's, you know, benches in the courtyards and the gazebo, and we mentioned the truck.
They were going to hope for an old pickup to be donated. She asked for a very specific date. She wanted something between 65 and 70. Because that would be the era that this next generation would be about right.
Right after the meeting, Ted ran up to Tracy and said,
"Tracy, I
think I've got a
truck for you.
It's the exact pickup you're looking for, and I'm willing to donate it for the cause."
Both of us were welling up when he was telling me about his pickup.
My grandpa was a very special and very giving person. If you needed something, he gave to you. To have the opportunity to give something to someone was very special to him. So I think for us as a family, the opportunity to give this, he would have loved it. Both he and my grandmother would have loved it.
My wife asked me if I would haul a truck from Kearney, and it was funny because I immediately thought Kearney, Missouri. Oh, that's just a couple hours, you know, just run over there and get it. Then she said, "No, it's Kearney, Nebraska."
We had a heck of a time getting it started.
We had a lot of fun loading it.
It did still run.
We had fire coming out from the engine.
We about burned the place down. We got it loaded and belted and everything.
Fed me a cup of coffee and then off I went.
He took off with a wave.
It actually worked really smoothly.
When we first got it, because the footprint where it sits is not big enough for that full-size truck, we had to cut the bed off.
We have actually chopped a 8-foot bed into a 24-inch bed and welded it back together and make it look like it was meant to be like that.
Well, maybe we can make a seat out of the back. And so that's kind of the stage we're in now, is it's been cut off and they're putting the little piece back on from the back of the truck.
And it's honestly a pretty good feeling because not many people, I mean, a lot of people volunteer and stuff, but this is something they're going to get to remember and use for the rest of the time they have. It warms your heart up.
It means a lot to me, actually, because my aunt has Alzheimer's, and so I'm trying to make this truck look good and pretty.
It's pretty exciting. It's neat to see the dedication.
You know, of course, it costs money to even redo the pickup truck, so I brought that up at a meeting again.
Gus Huber, which is the father of my partners now, At the end of Gus's life, he had some memory care issues.
Next thing I know, we had Phil from A.L. Huber saying that they would be happy to donate the money to help us refinish the truck.
Our company colors are orange. As a matter of fact, I would donate $1,000 in Gus's honor if it was orange. And it didn't take Tracy very long to decide, well, maybe it should be orange.
Well, it turns out one of the instructors at the high school was recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's himself.
He found out after doing some testing that he did have indeed Alzheimer's.
The instructor that I replaced 3 years ago, he had been here for quite a while and really respected, so it was kind of an honor for me to be asked to come take his place.
This is a very meaningful project for all of us.
It seems like every time we turn around, something new comes up that adds to this ongoing story of an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives.
People will get excited about hearing about this story of the truck, but the real story is about the families and the residents coming together, and friends gathering together and finding that love and that passion for life again.
If Christ isn't at work there, I don't know who is, because it's definitely been God-driven the whole time, the whole way through.
His fingerprints are all over it, and it's coming to reality, and it's going to be here before we know it, and it's going to be a real blessing to minister to everyone that we are able to serve in our new memory care assisted living.